First, let me put a shout out, if I could, for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. If you're over 40 and you're planning to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize. Here's a question most people never ask. Is your portfolio built for what's coming next? Many investors in their 40s and 50s discovered they have little to no exposure to precious metals. That means their savings are largely tied up in the markets, the policies, the paper assets, with very little protection if conditions change, and they are changing. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've already built becomes just as important as growing it. That's where Noble Gold comes in. They're helping investors reduce the risk by adding physical gold to their portfolios. That's right, gold, a biblical currency. Right now may be the smart time to talk to Noble Gold. I highly recommend it. Go to the link below the video. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. Why? There'll be no pressure. There'll be no sales gimmicks. Just clear answers and a strategy built around your goals. I highly recommend it, guys. And if you qualify, and you probably do, they're giving away this 3-ounce silver coin. Are you serious? 3-ounce silver coin. Amazing. Free for those who set up a gold or silver IRA or 401k or qualify, and you probably do. Check it out now, okay? You will be glad that you did.
U.S. President Donald Trump warned that it was, quote, very dangerous for the United Kingdom to do business with China as Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer visited Shanghai. President Trump, who called Chinese President Xi Jinping a, quote, friend, also criticized Canada for engaging with China. Sir Keir, meanwhile, described his talks with Xi as, quote, very good, and announced agreements on visa-free travel, lower whiskey tariffs, AstraZeneca investment, intelligence sharing on organized crime, and cooperation on health and trade. UK officials stressed that the deals were made with careful attention to security risks, while business leaders praised the visit as boosting trade opportunities, the BBC has reported. Opposition MPs, however, criticized the trip over national security and human rights concerns, citing China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims, Hong Kong dissidents, and media figures like Jimmy Lai. New York City's ferry service has been suspended due to Winter Storm Bern, which left the East and Hudson Rivers nearly frozen and created massive ice blocks. Freezing temperatures in the single digits have made ferry operations unsafe, forcing riders to use subways, buses, or cars instead. NYC Ferry cited crew and passenger safety as the top priority, while monitoring conditions to resume service once the waterways are clear. Images showed large ices around Manhattan, and some confusion arose as Governor's Island ferries continue operating separately. Now the shutdown follows the storm, which dumped 11 to 14 inches of snow, killed over 60 people nationwide, and disrupted thousands of flights. A man from Minnesota, Mark Anderson, has been arrested for attempting to break accused CEO assassin Luigi Mangione out of the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center armed with only a pizza cutter and a barbecue fork. Anderson allegedly posed as an FBI agent, claiming to have a judge-signed order to free Mangione, and then he tried to convince guards to release him. When asked for credentials, Anderson showed a Minnesota state ID and warned of weapons in his bag, which contained the kitchen tools. He also threw papers related to a lawsuit against U.S. Justice Department before he was detained, the U.S. Sun has reported. Anderson, who is 36 years old, had moved to New York for a job that fell through and then was working at a pizzeria, and he is now charged with impersonating a federal agent and is due in court on Thursday.
The world is experiencing an alarming series of apocalyptic events. Historic weather disasters, earthquakes, droughts, wildfires, impending economic collapse, the rise of AI. In Revelation 9/11, Pastor Paul Begley and Pulitzer-nominated journalist Troy Anderson investigate if these are the true signs of the end times. Is this the final meeting of current events and prophecy referred to in the Bible? Revelation 9:11. Order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target.com.